And we are live here at performerstudios.com in Quincy, Massachusetts. You are watching Night Moves. I'm your host, Joshua Paul. And I'm joined again by Brittany down there.
You know, I'm so honored to have a second chance with you, Josh. Always love seeing that shining face of yours.
Well, you know, I won't admit that I do drink before the show. So
do you?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, you know what? You look like you're glowing. Yeah. It's a good bubbly glow.
Well, no, I'm excited because our guests in the house tonight are extremely talented people.
I know. Huge. And it's funny because I met him. He's a Brockton boy. You know that?
Local.
Yeah? Local guy.
Local guy.
Grew up, just wanting a dream to come true, and he did it. And I think that's amazing. And I actually, do you know how I met him?
At the nightclub, at the bar?
No, actually.
Like a party or something?
No, it was actually, he through like a networking event.
Oh.
I think at Brockton Public Library.
At the library?
At the library.
Wow.
Michael, Zotos, the main man of the night, putting this whole
that
thing
would be
together.
me.
That would be our producer.
Big Mike.
Big Mike over there. He invited me to this, networking event in Brockton, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll swing on by. And Noube put the whole thing together. There's a ton of people. There was an anchor from... Oh my gosh, she's very going to be upset that I don't really remember. But
WHDH.
Yes.
She was a sports reporter.
Yes, sports reporter for WHBH. And she was great. And she, inspired us and motivated us. And it felt good. It felt good to kind of be, back in that environment after COVID kind of took it all from us. So I think that was the first time I got in a group gathering in a very long time because of COVID. So it felt good. I think Noube should be proud of himself that he was even able to put that together with all the regulations and restrictions that they had at that time.
Well, we're thankful to have them here and, talk about their Emmy, award-winning film. And they have a new film coming out next month, isn't it, March?
Yeah. Yep.
But what I like about it is that it's the real-life topics.
Exactly. And you know what's awesome about it? Sorry, not to cut you off.
Yeah. You're just excited.
I'm just very excited because there's not he's young. He's not,
Sure.
And he comes from a background that, maybe wasn't privileged, but at the same time, he's through his documentaries, he's able to vocalize his opinion, and I think it's intelligent, and I think it's wise, and I think a lot of people watching his stuff won't only be entertained, but they'll be educated, and I think that's what he's like really trying to do here.
Well, what I like about the whole thing is you rise above, right?
Right.
You rise above, and that's the key in life. You can either get caught up in the fray, in the BS, or you rise above, and you're like, I'm not going to get involved with that. I'm going to do something positive in my life, and I mean, come on, you end up becoming an award-winning director.
I know.
At under age 30, I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, no, he's crushing it. And you know what's honestly...
And not to cut you off, but also the people around him that help put it together, too.
Right.
It takes teamwork, doesn't it?
Right, absolutely, of course. Yeah. I just think it's cool that, when you talk about overcoming stuff, right, like everyone's like, oh, yeah, you just overcome it. But it is so hard. It is the grind. Like, Josh, the grind.
Yeah.
The grind. Like,
I got scars.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just to say he overcame is, like, not even touching the surface level of how bad overcoming some stuff in life really, like, cuts your soul out. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you want Jesus to be able to save your soul. That's what helps get you through it, I think,
Oh,
it's called having faith, right?
Yeah.
You got to have a little faith in life, because if you don't, I mean, you just want to crawl into a hole and die.
And that is the actual truth, Josh.
It's the truth.
100%.
No, it is, and I think that's part of the, the principles of, religion and having faith is that believing in a higher power that will help pull you out of the muck.
I know, and it's funny because there's a lot of atheists in the world, and I wasn't ready to confront them, but there's a good amount, and it's just so interesting to me because I just can't believe in nothing, right? Because it's just a choice. At the end of the day, it's just a choice, and I rather choose to believe that something's helping me rather than just absolutely nothing.
Yeah, there's more to life than just emptiness. There's existence out there, and you have to believe. Life is about belief. So, but we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back. All right.
Well done, my friend.
I've been practicing. Blackberry hint water tastes more like fresh blackberries than the blackberries in my pie.
Really?
Yeah. Taste for yourself.
I believe I will.
And?
Delicious. Just blackberries, no sugary stuff. My cherry hint water tastes more like cherries than the ones in my pie.
I'll be the judge of that. You're right. Cherry hint water tastes more like cherries, not like that sugary cherry stuff in your pie.
Seems impossible.
We should double check.
Hint, water with a touch of true fruit flavor.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
For decades, Alba Restaurant has been a premier dining destination on the South Shore. Located in the heart of Quincy, and now with a second location in Hanover, Alba Restaurant has something on the menu to satisfy every palate. From sumptuous flame-broiled steaks, to freshly caught cold water seafood, to vine-ripened and hand-picked vegetables grown on our seasonal roof deck, you can be confident that your meal at Alba will be a truly pleasurable dining experience. Alba also offers private dining rooms and function options. Both Alba locations are open 7 days a week. For more information, please visit either of our websites at albaquincy.com or albaon53.com.
Live here at performerstudios.com. You're watching Night Moves. I'm your host, Joshua Paul, joined by the very lovely Brittany down there. She's always so vivacious. You got your scarf on this evening.
I do. It's chilly out. It's supposed to be a snowstorm tomorrow. You got to get prepared.
We got a whole bunch coming.
You got any snow buddies you're snowing in with?
No, but I bought a bunch of food.
Oh, okay.
And
So you're going to be a foodie.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of work, and then I'm going to watch my new show that I'm watching on.
What's your new show?
It's called Yellowstone.
Okay.
It's a cowboy Indian show.
Oh.
Kevin Costner. It's awesome. It's awesome.
You want to be a cowboy or an Indian?
Well, I'm part Indian, but cowboys is where it's at. It's very alpha. It's very alpha.
You're definitely a soprano, man.
But anyways, why don't we go ahead and introduce our special guests in the studio here?
Yeah.
We are joined by Noube. Raise your hand.
Hi, Mom.
And we got MVP Will here.
What's going on, guys?
And welcome to the studio, guys.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
in.
for having us on, man. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Yes, sir. A year later.
Well,
2 years. 2 years.
Wait, you guys were on the show before?
COVID wiped out a year.
A couple years ago.
A couple years. Not this specific one, but I forgot what was the name of that last show.
No, listen, Mike was there.
Mike was there. That's it.
So,
Yeah.
listen,
As long as Mike's there,
long as
everyone's
Mike's
there,
there.
right?
Actually, they've been on two shows before. One was the Film Fanatics. That was the first one that came on, and then Performer.
Oh, got
And
it.
actually, just so people know, we actually had a special airing of their first their award-winning documentary. We'll say that, the Emmy Award-winning documentary. We had it during May of 2020, when there was a lot of uprisings going on because of all the stuff that was going on in the country with police and victims and things like that in the black community. So we had a special airing of that in May of that year.
That must have been emotional.
It was very emotional. Yeah, it was very emotional. I had a really nice intro for it and everything else, so it sounded very serious, very serious. We're normally
Serious
not that
topic.
serious, but it was a very serious topic at that time, definitely. Yeah, and then we had Malik. Malik came in here with his documentary shortly thereafter that. So it was very appropriate at that time, appropriate content for that time.
Shout out to Malik and Coach Wilson,
Yeah.
legends in Boston,
Yeah, definitely.
OGs.
Yep.
What's up, Coach Wilson?
Another great documentary on the subject.
So talking about documentaries, Noube, why don't you tell us about the one that's coming up?
So this next document coming up, we thought about this. We were actually floating around a whole bunch of different ideas. We're talking about maybe education, social media, but at the time, immigration. This was around, I'd say, late 2019. I mean, immigration was just a hot issue. With President Trump and the election year coming up. So we decided to do one on immigration. But the way me and Will do documentaries it's not this documentary where everyone's gonna feel comfortable.
Right.
You're gonna be uncomfortable. You're gonna get perspective, okay, and you're gonna learn how to empathize. And that's what really Sparkplug is the atmosphere, the climate around 2019 around immigration. Was like, this is an opportunity. If we don't capture this energy now, then I'm gonna show when can we capture the energy. And we had a lot of obstacles. We had no idea we were gonna hit the biggest pandemic in 100 years. So
right.
that was something to overcome. I mean, it was incredible. But hey, listen, we did it.
You guys should be proud of yourselves, 100%. Now, let me ask you, how do you get people who are willing to be so open about a very hard topic?
Brittany, that's a good question. And honestly, we have to be thankful that through the years we've been able to build the kind of reputation that allows people to confide in us when they tell us our stories. Even though this is a big topic, immigration is, I don't even think that's our most personable subject, because we've done things like drugs and guns. So it's people that have lost lives, poverty, fatherhood. So we've done these deep issues that it takes a lot of trust for people to come to us. And I think that when they look at our body of work, they see two people that are trying to give a voice to the voiceless. We're trying to make sure that the people that aren't represented make sure that their stories are out there and they're heard in the hood that we grew up in. So it's always special to us when people allow us to put a voice to what they're going through.
Now, let me ask you this real quick. Sorry, Josh, you can jump in at any moment, but I have these questions just firing off. So have you ever interviewed someone and they said something you disagreed with and it emotionally triggered you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it happens every day. That's what makes, I think, our documents different from other documentaries, is that, we don't just have one particular side and go the whole way. Again, our documents make you uncomfortable. One thing I want to piggyback on what Will said is that trust is important. Even if someone disagrees with us, they trust us, that we're going to be able to tell their story and do it justice. And I think, when kids ask, what's your tips about documentary filmmaking? I give you all this crap about, rules of thirds and all this technical stuff. All that doesn't matter if they don't trust you.
How do you build the trust then?
I think,
good question. I'm glad Will took that. That's all
yours, baby. Honestly, I think that at first, we were young. I mean, we started making movies when we were 21. We were still in college, sophomore, junior year. So it was a little bit tougher when we were younger. But, we don't give up. I think one thing people can say about Noube and I is that we're very tenacious. We keep going, so we keep at it. So if one door closes, we keep knocking on every door till somebody answers the door, metaphorically speaking. So we reach out. I think we reach out looking for stories, and we let people know that we're serious. We mean business. It's not two kids that are showing up to your door, with unprepared. We call you. We want to know your story. We meet up with you. We make sure that you're comfortable. You just know that this is two serious adults that are trying to make a change in the world with the stories they're telling.
We'll sit, in the beginning, I'm thinking about it. Our first few documentaries, we had actually a lot of friends and family on it. So, we had to get them first, and then people saw how we told the story. How we told their story. I guess that developed a little trust. We had a lot of friends on our documentaries.
Yeah.
Well, I would think that would certainly kind of, give you your warm-up chops, right? Your ability to kind of, get out there and talk to others and, put out content. They're like, okay, we don't have your brother back on this time,
No, that's awesome.
Or your mother back on this time.
I started Beautiful Broken, which is very similar to what you guys do. I just don't have like the crew or the equipment to make documentaries, but I honestly genuinely wanted to. I wanted to go into homes that were beautiful and broken, and I wanted to share family stories on how, even though they went through trial and tribulations, they overcame it, and they were able to do it. But it is hard. It is hard to get the equipment. It is hard to get the support. So how did you guys pull out all that?
Well, the first, I'd say 3 documentaries probably came out of our pocket.
Okay.
People don't know this. Me and Will, for 2 years, did weddings and fashion shows and didn't pay ourselves for 2 years.
Wow.
I'll never forget that. We did 3 weddings one summer, didn't pay ourselves one dime. We put that all towards equipment. And
wow,
man, listen, that's a credit to
that might be the best investment we ever made, honestly, because from there we never looked back. I think the quality of work speaks for itself.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I want, I really give Will a lot of credit for that, because this originally was a passion of mine.
Yeah.
Going to college, and then we'll end up loving the material, loving the work, and for him to sacrifice that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice time and time, and no one knows that we did so much free work where we got paid, but we just put it all towards the documentary, and that took a lot of trust. So.
Discipline too, guys. You guys were young boys, able to go out and drink and party.
I'm not sure if we can do that again. Yo,
wait, who said there was no drinking and party? No way.
You guys read books at night and went to sleep.
Josh, so come on, Josh. That is okay. You know that stuff. That was a dumb case.
I ain't gonna lie. Well, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm not sure we do that now.
Oh no. We used to have like 6 things lined up for the evening. Yeah, we're gonna record this fashion show. Then we're gonna record the wedding. We're gonna crash the reception after. Then we're gonna go to the party after.
Then we'll go to the club.
Yeah. Oh, so you guys had the balance.
I don't know how we did it though.
What's the story between you two?
Play harder. Noube and I go back to junior high. I mean, we weren't as close as we were back then as we got in college, but we've known each other since junior high. We grew up in the same hood, went to the same junior high, same high school, same college. So we're 2 Brockton natives.
Yep. My dad's from Brockton, so rep Brockton.
So you know he's a champion.
Oh,
I don't know about you. I don't know where you were born, but I know your dad's a champion.
Is what he is.
Well, let's get back to the documentary that got coming out in March. So you were talking about, you started filming in what year?
Late 2019.
And as you were interviewing people and filming this, how did the whole Trump administration play into all this?
Oh, I mean, I think it was huge. I think, what got Donald Trump elected was how he felt about immigration. I think that was his biggest thing, was about building a wall. So that was a part of the documentary we need to highlight. Whether people agree with Donald Trump or not, the fact of the matter is he makes news and, he gets attention and sound bites. So we need to highlight that part of the documentary. We did a focus. We went all the way down to the border in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. I actually was in San Diego around New Year's Eve, and my friend drove me to the border, and it was the first time I ever saw the border, and it wasn't like, I don't know why in my mind I imagined this like 20,000 feet wall and people climbing over it and like risking their lives jumping for the freedom. There was a lot of cars and there was tolls.
Right. It's not even a wall. It's
not a wall. It's
like
not a wall at all.
Right.
It was crazy. Mike, do you have their trailer?
I do.
I would love to see it. I feel like these people need to get a little glimpse of what we're doing here.
Sounds good to me.
Right,
so let's fade everything out and we'll play the trailer. 1 second.
No individual having the opportunity to have a better life for themselves or for their children, if they have the chance to scale a wall, to swim across a river, they're going to take it.
And the sad thing is, most Americans don't know what freedom really is.
We will move forward to pass comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship.
They are laying waste to the very American Republic that has been the greatest country in the history of the world.
I did agree with some of the things that Donald Trump did, right? Because I do believe that there should be a vetting process.
Is that unreasonable to ask? Make sure you're not affiliated with any gangs. Why would we want you here? Get out.
The majority of the crimes that I prosecute as the chief law enforcement officer in Suffolk County are citizens of this country.
We grow enough here, we don't need to import more. If I could deport them, I would.
USA! USA! USA!
Life is so hard in Haiti or in the country that they had before, they'll take the risk of getting caught.
If you have $5,000-$10,000 to pay a coyote to bring you illegally across the border, pay to apply and come here legally.
She always said that, like, my situation is different, that I don't have the same opportunities as everyone else.
I'm not going to tell you about their life walk. I'm not going to tell you about how they got here. I'm not going to tell you about the journey they're experiencing. No, that doesn't matter. They.
Sooner or later, I started to get brought into like meetings with lawyers.
Day one, we end a border policy which allows federal agents to snatch babies from the arms of their mothers.
That's when I realized, like, I'm an outcast.
Where is my protection? Where is my family's protection?
I need to know who you are, because if I sneak into Mexico and I commit a crime, There's no documentation of me being in Mexico.
We come from, maybe different backgrounds, but we share similar experiences.
I am you.
I am you.
In the end, we remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
couldn't accept immigrants, but I've heard them out, and one concept that stuck to me is that, imagine if you had a house. You have your own house. Imagine if people just started walking into your house and people told you couldn't lock the front door, you couldn't lock the back door. People can just come into your house whenever they wanted. They could come in, grab a snack from your fridge. You'd be kind of upset about it, and
be shooting people.
And that's kind of what some people look at immigration, and how when these coyotes take these illegal immigrants in, and how messy it can be when you just allow the bad and the good.
Well, when you have a house, you pay for it, and nobody else deserves the right to walk through your house to take those things. That's
100%.
That's your ownership, and you own that. And so, I think a lot of people, they get a little too American about it, and it's just like, we all came from somewhere.
Yeah.
Like my mother's family came from Canada, my father came from Ireland. I mean, come on.
So let me just ask for people out there who don't know, like me, what is a coyote?
Well, you go ahead, guys.
A coyote is pretty much a person that is paid a sum of money to take people that are illegal aliens from another. Well, they're not illegal yet, but they take immigrants from a country and bring them into the U.S. or a country like the U.S. where they're usually running away from a problem that's threatening their life or their situation back home. And these people sneak them into the U.S. through some crazy and bizarre ways that a lot of people consider unsafe, obviously, like packing a bunch of people under the floor of a truck, or taking these tunnels that collapse on people because they're not dug properly. So it's just these people that are part of this process.
They pack them in 18-wheeler trucks and they're trying to get them through the border.
That's
there's some real inhumane ways.
Yeah.
Jesus.
One second, guys. I just want to let everyone know that we did have an audio problem, but we're back online again right now. So sorry about that, folks. We're a little rusty here.
When
COVID made us rusty.
When you guys were down there, I'm curious to know. So now we have two different presidents, right? We had we sort of had a authoritative president, versus who we have now, and so it was kind of like sort of open borders when Biden was elected versus Trump. He made it pretty clear, don't come to the country. Have you guys had a chance to kind of sort of compare the two?
I think they're both full of crap.
Yeah.
To be quite frank with you.
Yeah.
I think they don't really want to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think ultimately Republicans say they want to solve the problem, but they're the same ones hiring them in Texas at the border and hiring them for cheap labor. And Democrats say they want to solve the problem, but really don't. And they want their votes every 4 to 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think they're both full of it.
Sure.
I think they're both full of it, to be quite frank with you. And I'm not sure if anyone truly wants to solve the problem. We came really close in 2012 to passing a DREAM Act. We were 4 votes short.
Under Obama.
Yes, we were 4 votes short in terms of that. Donald Trump wanted to pass some type of DREAM Act on his end. That wasn't passed. So, ultimately, when you have a Republican president who wants to have a path to citizenship for dreamers, and you can't get it through, and then your Democratic president who was 4 votes short. Obama was the closest. He was 4 votes, and that's where he turned his attention to health care. But I think they're both full of it. I'm not sure if anyone truly wants to solve the problem. To be quite frank,
didn't George Bush Jr. want to offer amnesty at one point? I was thinking, was that correct?
What after the alien?
I can't remember. I remember something like that.
Elian Gonzalez.
Remember
from
that?
Cuba.
Like
Yes,
right.
Yes, I do.
I mean, the only way this can truly be solved is if they eliminate the filibuster, because if they don't get 60 votes to pass any law, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to really pass any type of legislation, and that's what it comes down to. So I'm not sure if it's ever going to be solved unless they change, some executive action or what it is. But it's going to be difficult.
But what is the solution?
I think the solution is give dreamers the path to citizenship.
How do you know who's a dreamer, though?
They're born here.
Well, I mean, ultimately, if their parents came and brought them
here
at a young age.
Their parents brought them here. Under a certain age, the parents brought them.
And they got to, of course, by that time, they've been documented. They can prove all that, and
I would do a trade of I would build a border wall and give dreamers path to citizenship. I would take that trade.
Sure.
I think that'd be a fair trade. Okay, I can understand, because some parts of the wall on the border I could climb over. And to be quite frank with you, we all know how much of an athlete I am, which is pretty much none. If I could climb over that border, okay, I'd make that trade. But listen, Carlito will tell you more about it. I mean, this brother was the star of the film, and he'll tell you more about it.
Awesome.
We get some pictures
Will,
too.
thank
Do
you for
wanna-
coming on.
Let's take a look at these pictures.
We're gonna switch Will out for Carlito. The
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at these
documentary.
I didn't agree to this.
Let's take a look at
I
these
thought we were
pictures.
switching Josh out.
Before William goes, let's take a look at these pictures right here.
That's Federal Judge Lawton, former federal judge.
That's Carlito on the right.
And that's our young gun, Amari. Big shout out to Amari. Helped out a lot on the project.
You guys, I love video stuff. If you ever need a girl, let me know.
We're doing a
And
poem here.
where was this?
This is the opening scene. We're doing a poem. Matt Gainham, very talented poet. He did an opening scene poem.
We like our scenes to be gritty, so this is an abandoned.
I was gonna say, that's
an
pretty
abandoned
gritty.
building. We just got the rights to film.
Wow.
Shout out to Eddie. I think Eddie's listening. Shout out to Eddie.
Brittany, you said you to let you know about our next film. The next film is we're looking for who's gonna be my wife. So just let you know. You walked right into that one, Brittany.
That's good. That was smooth. That was smooth. I was listening and everything.
He's auditioning, Brett. He's auditioning. Well, thank you, fellas, for coming in, and thank you, Will, for jumping in and giving your angle and your opinion, your piece on this.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
It's pretty deeply noted.
No, I appreciate it. Every time I come here to perform, it's always fun, and I appreciate Mike and the rest of you guys for always listening to us and giving us a chance to promote our documentary and our film. So, till next time.
Till next time. All right. Okay.
Keep making more.
Stay
We'll be right
tuned.
back,
We'll be
though.
right back.
Multiple studies have Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Huh. They made this blackberry taste exactly like blackberry hint water.
They made this watermelon taste like hint water too.
How'd you farmer wizards make all this fruit taste just like hint water?
Well, we triple irrigate our fruit with hint water in the world's largest biosphere, which modifies the DNA to taste exactly like hint water.
Really?
No.
What a sarcastic farmer.
Hint, water with a touch of true fruit flavor.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting
And even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other.
on a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward. Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text to emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie
nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Don't give it time to reload it. Bump all the rules, do it your own way. Oh, you know the conversations I have with the mirror. I just wanna turn all the way up. They be like, hey, what you gonna do with your life? Do what you like. Whatever I want, whatever I want, ever I want.
Lovely, beautiful Brittany down there.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
And we got Noube back, and we're joined by Carlito's Way. Yeah, he was this one of the big stars in the documentary film coming up, I Am You. and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Carlito, just speak into the microphone a little bit. But,
Sorry, I'm a little bit soft-spoken,
It's
so
okay.
I'm gonna get a little
Yeah,
bit
so stay
closer.
close, baby. Stay close.
So, how was it like starring in this film? What was the most challenging thing for you?
For me, it was emotional, right? Because you're telling a story. Like one of my friends was like, "Oh, I seen you in the documentary. I didn't know you were an actor." I'm like, "I'm not acting. This is like real life. I'm just kind of telling and sharing my story." And so, through telling and sharing the story, it takes you back and you bring back memories that, sometimes weren't the best memories.
Sure.
Kind of growing up. So
Yeah. Triggers. It triggers you.
Definitely
Where are you from?
Me, I am from here, the United States.
Okay.
From Brockton.
Okay.
Born in Boston, but raised in Brockton. My father is Haitian.
Oh.
Is from Haiti, and my mom is Black American.
The Haitians are hard workers.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where I had to take an Uber, and there was a lot of Haitians Ubering, and they were just fun up people.
Mhm.
Like I would just get so excited. We'd just be talking. They talk. It was fun.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Haitians are hardworking people. They pride themselves on having multiple jobs and multiple streams of income.
Yes,
and,
they do.
And providing for the family.
Yeah.
Now, during the film, can you give us a little preview of what you have shared?
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I grew up in a single family household. I was raised by my mom, who's African American. However, I had a relationship with my father's side of the family, which is the Haitian side of the family. And so my father would come in and out of my life for long periods of time. And when I would go spend time with my cousins and my aunt and uncle, and I couldn't really figure out where he went. I'm a child. Nobody really told me what was going on. I'm a child, kind of stay in a child's space, mind my business. But as I grew older, I started to realize that he was being deported on multiple occasions.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yes.
Oh my, you know what's wild about that is how often we could just assume that he wasn't being a good dad. And
Yeah.
he was just leaving his family and we can like put his name in the dirt and it was actually a legitimate sad reason.
And so how would you get him back?
How would I get him back? I didn't do anything. I was just, one day I would wake up and he would be back, and
That's abandonment issues right there though, huh?
yeah, it was tough. But as I got older, and I realized what happened, I want to say maybe the second or third time, I happened to be in college. And while I was in college, I kind of reached out, tried to let him know how things were going one morning. And, he, didn't pick up. He's an early bird. He always picks up. So, more or less, I kind of realized what happened. He had gotten pulled over. Immigration kind of took over. But, what sucks is they don't necessarily deport you right away. So he was in Plymouth. And so I was at Framingham State playing football before I transferred to UMass Amherst. And so I remember literally every Thursday going to class, getting out of practice, and driving from Framingham to Plymouth to go visit him and, kind of spend time with him and then, get a couple speeding tickets on the way back. Trying to hurry up to get back and get to class the next day. But yeah, and I think that what people don't understand about immigrants, right? People come here to this country for a better life or a better opportunity, right? But some people think they do it selfishly for themselves. We actually do it for the future generations, right? So I'm my father's oldest first son, right? And I went to Framingham State, then I transferred to UMass Amherst. I have a bachelor's degree in economics, right? And then I went to Cambridge College. I have a master's degree in school adjustment and mental health counseling.
God bless you. We need that.
I own a home. I'm the first person in my family, on each side of the family, to own a home.
Congratulations. It's
so
beautiful.
it's almost like being, like, even though he may not be here, what he sought out, I am you. Like, I'm living through.
His dream got lived out through you.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And now he's back in Haiti?
Yes, Dominican Republic.
A Dominican Republic.
Haiti's not necessarily the best place to be right now, so
Right.
next door is a little bit better of a setup.
And how long has he been there?
He want to say last time he got deported was 2022, probably 2016.
Okay.
Wow.
2017.
And when does he get to come back?
That's the thing. So one of the times he had gotten deported, it was around the time when there was the the earthquake in Haiti.
Oh.
Okay.
And so we were hoping to seek asylum due to the hardships out there. However, Unfortunately, he had a criminal record, but it's one of those things where he's trying to make a living. You can't get a job. You're not documenting. You got to get a job.
Right.
So unfortunately, he kind of made some poor decisions, and the hustling, selling drugs, and that's kind of was his way of, making a life and making a way for his children.
It's so interesting too, because like your mom just has to cross the border being pregnant, and she just has to have you here in order for you to be good for life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Well, thank God.
no, I know it's like pretty simple for you.
Yes.
You don't do anything. You're in the belly and you're chilling. You just have to make sure that you're on the right side or whatever side they want you to be on. And it's just crazy how much the parent sacrifices and is willing to risk just so that baby is born in the United States.
The president actually called that an anchor baby.
Yeah, of course.
He called that an anchor baby,
Sure.
and a lot of people were offended by that term. But in terms of, you come here, and in theory, if your child is born here when they're of age, they could apply for the citizenship for their parent.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. It's funny because my vava was from Brazil and my vavu was from Portugal, and they came over, I think back in 1960 something, and they had my aunt with her, and she was born in Brazil. I didn't even find this out until like 2 years ago. She didn't have any documents until 2 years ago. So it's just then everyone else was born here, so she was the only one that wasn't. My older aunt, but it's just crazy because you just without them coming to America, like she's 30, she just passed away, so like R.I.P. Vava, love you, but
Sorry to hear that.
yeah,
She was
sorry.
cute.
She was so cute.
I
She was
saw
the
the
cutest
photo.
little nugget.
She had this. Brittany had posted a big picture, and it was a grandmother. And she had all these spawned family members. Like I said to her, Brittany, look how many. Like while she was here, look what she did with her life.
30 grandkids she created.
Wow.
30 grandkids.
That's-
This little lady had pushed out 5 kids, and then they pushed
God
out
bless
30.
her.
And we all lived in Stoughton, so represent Diegers. But
For Carlito, just the amount of respect, put this in perspective. He's in school, middle school, elementary school. His father disappeared, and now he's still going to school the next day, almost as if nothing happened.
Sure.
Imagine how many kids are going through that now.
I know.
Right.
Oh, yeah, my father
Now,
got
do you
deported
talk
next
to
day.
children? Do you go to school and
Yeah,
kind
so
of?
I actually work at Brockton High School as a school adjustment counselor.
That's amazing.
And so like a
God
school,
bless you.
like a school social worker. So
God bless
I
you.
support students socially and emotionally.
Especially in Brockton. My best friend Jenna, she's actually a teacher in Brockton.
Okay.
And the stories, when it was Zoom and the videos that she would see and the house living, she's like, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. Because not only, when you're in school one-on-one with these children, you don't see their home life. You don't see the way they're living, the way they're dressed, if they eat. And she said, and when you were teaching them through Zoom, some of the parents didn't care at all. If they were drunks, they were drunks. It was wild.
I saw it. I was, because at the gym, because I own a gym, guys, and so I keep the TV on and watch the news in the morning.
Really?
And they were
You own a gym?
right? And so they were interviewing this 10-year-old, and she was just talking about how the struggles of the pandemic and her family and all this stuff. And she's like, I feel alone and abandoned. I don't want to live no more. And you're like, what? You're 10 years old, talking like you're an adult. You're ready to hang yourself. And so, good for you for getting out there to try and keep these kids sane and centered,
Yeah, definitely. Mental health is one of those things that that doesn't discriminate, right?
No.
It could be black, white, purple, orange, young, old, gay, straight, transgender, whatever. Mental health affects anybody and everybody, and it also presents in different ways too.
So what I love about this documentary, I Am You, is you're just explaining, immigrants, but it's also very, very into mental health and how living in that world affects you, and how, as an adult, how you cope with it and how you keep pushing forward and overcoming things. It's really inspirational. So you should be really proud of yourself because it's not easy. It is not. Oh my goodness.
Carly, do you have your siblings?
I do. So I am the oldest on my father's side. There's 6 of us. And
6?
6.
Oh my God.
Yeah, am I 6? Yeah, there's 6 of us.
6?
Yeah. Like I gotta double check.
So here's your mother in the United States raising 6 children on her own.
So my father, 5 kids.
Sure.
6 kids, 5 different babies' mothers.
Yeah.
5 different baby mamas? Oh, he was a busy man.
Yeah, and reproducing those anchor babies. And,
he's like, I'm gonna get it from every angle.
If you gonna get me, someone's gonna get me.
Every nationality.
I like my chances.
Oh my God, that's wild.
Now that's a gambler.
Rolling the dice, right?
That's a gambler.
Yeah. And then
Oh my God.
On my mom's side, I'm one of four,
Okay.
second oldest, and so it's funny because we have different fathers. We all grow up as if we, it doesn't matter if we're half brothers.
Sure,
we're complete brothers, but
It's
single
still brothers.
mom. Government assistance,
Sure.
housing, food stamps,
Yeah,
you name
yeah,
it, we
yeah,
got it. Secret Santa, not Secret Santa. It's something where they give out gifts,
Sure, yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, I work in education. My older brother's a corrections officer, and my younger brother's a firefighter in Brockton.
So you guys all, you spawned something from that, right? Like you rose above, and and that's what we need in this country. I mean, it's they give immigration a problem. China's having a problem right now because they're not reproducing enough. And it's a huge problem, and it's like,
Yeah, didn't they cut it down to 2 babies per family?
I don't know.
It's insane.
I think one.
Yeah.
One.
Because they're overpopulated, but at the
They're
same time, if you
overpopulated,
don't create future generations, I just think
one try?
I think the
One
older
shot,
people,
one kill.
yeah, just one. That's wild. It's just I don't even understand it. But at the same time, it's like the older generations are gonna die off because that's what happens, and then you have to have younger generations to keep coming. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have one generation with 10 people, and then 150 people, just like old people, just die.
Well, I think here in the United States, we're a country of 360 million people, and we have a vast country, but we need more diversity, and that's what I think makes this country so unique and amazing. Is all the diversity, and and it's unfortunate that there are huge political divides. There was one time in my life where I felt that everybody was united, and that was during 9/11. We didn't care what color you were, what size you were, what sex you were. We all came together, and it was such a really great feeling. And I think now, in today's current climate, it's not like that, and it's really unfortunate.
The irony about 9/11, I think that's what really spark plugged the immigration issue.
Yeah.
In
definitely.
a sense, it almost did. It talks about being afraid of certain
Muslims.
immigrants.
Yeah, Muslims specifically.
By the way, Brittany, you were right. It's 2 now for China. It used to be 1.
Yeah.
Then in 2016, they made it 2. That's still quite limited.
So just to kind of, we only have a couple minutes left. I think we have about like 6 minutes left. But just to kind of circle back to the documentary, what did you get out of it?
Me?
Yeah.
What did I get out of it? I got a lot. So number one, I was able to do more research, right? Like as a child, daddy went away, whatever. I was able to ask more questions. I'm older now, maybe get a little bit more truth. I was able to kind of put things in perspective in terms of why I am the way that I am and why I want to help people so much, from kind of growing up without.
God bless you.
In some cases. But I've also learned that laws affect people based on what. So, for example, America, nobody was originally from here. Right. Everybody's an immigrant.
Right.
I had a great conversation earlier today with someone who saw the preview, and older white man, I want to say maybe in the 60s, talking about, my grandmother was Irish, and I'm Italian, and coming over here, and wanting to assimilate and wanting to, because I guess the Irish came before the Italians.
Yes, yeah, the turn of the century.
The turn of the century, exactly.
Yeah,
and
turn of
so,
the century.
How they were able to kind of have generational success, and how the laws and the restrictions in terms of immigration then, right? But now that more Caribbean people or people of color are coming over here, the laws are kind of changing, and they're more stricter.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
And you can see it in in other areas too. You look at the amount of times you get sentenced for crack cocaine versus pure cocaine, a more pure substance, right? So white people drug, a rich white person drug versus crack cocaine, which is a more diluted substance. You get more time for the crack cocaine.
Well, that was a law put in the 90s by Bush Sr. that was instituted of trying to crack down on the war on drugs.
That was after Len Bias passed away.
Yeah, and then during the Clinton administration, they still kind of kept it up and kept those crimes still heavy. And I once saw an interview with Hillary Clinton. She said one of the greatest failures of her administration was keeping the hardcore crack cocaine sentencing so harsh because it killed families. It did, and it did. I mean, fathers were sent to jail for a long time for so little, and so now they're looking at it much differently now. Don't put them in jail, put them in rehab and try to rehabilitate them, because it saw what it did to the black community, and it was awful.
Noube, now, what was it like having Carlito be a part of your documentary?
It was great. Carlito, without Carlito, I don't think the documentary is as strong as it is.
Oh yeah,
it is. I mean,
it's the beard. It's the beard. It's the beard, bro. I love the beard.
Appreciate it.
Noubie's trying.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Noubie's trying.
I'm on the JB team.
I love it.
Okay,
baby. I love it.
But listen, this dude reached out to us.
Okay.
Wow.
Reached out to us. Little inbox. He DM'd us. Slide us a little DM.
Slide in the DM.
As a football player.
Yeah, as a football player. Hey, listen.
But I thought Eric Hernandez, one of our former student over in Lynn, and then the two people out in California, Agnes and Angie, those 4 people, 4 different perspectives, actually 3 different perspectives within those 4 people. I thought they really made the documentary, but Carlito was the first person to really, the first person to step up and say, I want to be on it.
That's amazing. And Carlito, I know we just met, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm really good at reading people, and you have one of the kindest souls that I've met in a very long time. So I hope you don't change.
That's nice.
I really, truly mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Well, I think I'm going to take your wife.
He's certainly he's certainly the son of his father, isn't he?
Right.
Babies. You're already the Yankee sweetheart.
Well, that's funny. Well, gentlemen, tell our viewers at home when the release of this documentary is coming out, and where can we buy tickets and view it?
So we're sold out of the world premiere. We sold out in 6 days, a world record.
Oh, geez. That's great.
I'm calling world 6 days. We sold out. Which
he doesn't know I'm coming, but.
All right.
Yeah, we want tickets. We want tickets. We want tickets.
Next to me, not next to Will.
Yeah.
But we're going to do another screening in April.
Okay.
There's going to be a public screening in April, and then we'll start to do some festivals. So we're doing multiple things. But the best way to check us out is on NoubeProductions.com.
NoubeProductions.com, everybody.
To get the full scope on the tour. But we're going to premiere it all over the country.
And can we get this sort of thing on Netflix or Spotify? I mean, how do you go down that avenue to get yours?
So right now we don't have distribution.
Yeah.
I know we will. So our other films are like on Tubi TV, on Amazon.
Okay.
So in a couple months it'll be on there. We'll get distribution for that. Leo Mark Studio just emailed us. I got forwarded the email. So about distribution. So we'll be up there pretty soon. But follow our website, NoubeProductions.com, for updates on the tour. But our world premiere at Gillette Stadium Patriot Place sold out. 250 seats sold out. 6 days.
Woo! Good for you guys. That's exciting.
That's amazing.
Hope you guys can make. I hope you guys can make it to our gala. But you already said you unfortunately won't be there.
But give that ticket to somebody.
I will for sure. Absolutely, 100%.
And kudos for what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I before Josh runs us out, I just want to say I definitely am starting up Beautiful Broken soon, and I'd love to have you guys on that show as well, because this is the. Keep the
you might as well just make a permanent seat for those.
I know, 100%. They're like running the show. I'm just gonna.
I'm saying coming to Performer all the time.
Oh, right.
That's okay. We're gonna have you on every single show eventually. 100%. I suppose.
Kleenex included with her show.
Oh yeah, it's very heavy.
That's right.
It's a teary-eyed show.
Okay.
Teary-eyed show. But fellas, we want to thank you for coming on to Night Moves. This was a great, healthy topic to talk about. That was definitely heart and soul, and thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Britt,
so much. Thank you.
Britt, thanks for being my wing gal.
Josh, anytime.
I
think we got a great thing here. You need me every week. I'm here.
Well, you certainly bring some light to the show, and that's appreciated. Big Mike behind there.
Yeah, secret Mike in the corner.
Big
stay warm,
Mike at the helm.
Stay warm this weekend.
We got some snow coming here in New England.
And cold too.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Florida. My flight got canceled.
Well, you know what? We're New Englanders. We're tough. It's better than living in California and everything on fire. So,
Very true. Or
but,
Ukraine.
Anyways,
Yeah, right. Exactly, Brittany.
Praise to Ukraine. Seriously, praise over
100%. Send all my love.
Yeah, it's a cluster F over there.
It's a cluster F.
But anyways, we want to thank you for tuning into Night Moves here at Performance Studios. I'm your host, Joshua Paul. Good night. Good luck.